Laundry room confession. This is me telling you, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I haven't a clue. I don't know. Maybe it was the funerals that brought you. Maybe somehow, some way, you were experiencing grief during a time that connected you to me on one of the social platforms. Or maybe it was because of the grief that I experienced that inspired the songs that were put out that then somehow made their way to you. Maybe it was the funerals, maybe it was the music. Maybe it were the kids screaming in the background. Whatever it was, go get them. I am at the fork in the road. That analogy that you hear all the time, I'm experiencing it for the first time in the most profound way. I love creating. I love writing. I love connecting with people. Connection over anything else. And in this video, I'm just here to tell you that. I don't know what I want to do when I grow up. But I can promise you, the videos that I put out here will either be about the struggles with creating, the stress of the creation process, the grief I experienced or will continue to experience, this whole identity that I've put into a title of My Kids Screaming and the funeral director. I should probably elaborate a little bit more. I started touring right after high school. I toured with my friends in this band and I learned everything about road managing at the time, or even just life on the road, new cities every day, gas station food, don't number 2 in the bus. And I started demoing and then I cut my teeth in releasing music and guerrilla marketing and selling projects, my records out of the trunk of my car. That story, that's maybe this stereotypical story that you hear from artists along the way. That's something that I did. I pounded the pavement before social media became what it is today. And somewhere along the way, I felt like a failure. So then I become a funeral director. I guess I'll become a funeral director. And I obsess over growing a company. And I obsess with being the best version. And I obsess in doing everything differently because wanting more than just what I have. And then in growing the funeral homes, I, somewhere along the way, met COVID face to face like you. And there are things that we can later, there are things that I struggle with to the point where I needed to get on paper my thoughts, my words. Because when you're in leadership, you don't project your stresses and struggles. You go take them up. I had no one, right, other than God and writing. And it was a song that connected with so many. It was a song called Yet that went to radio. And then all of a sudden, all the things that are happening with social media blowing up. And then there was that fork in the road of, do you do the red pill or the blue pill, which is content and music because you have this thriving funeral home company, or do you die to yourself to the point of maybe even dying because my health was not the best that it was. So I chose the creative and the artistry and the music and the content creation. And it's been lonely because it's just me. It's just me and all the personal struggles and challenges that were going on that were either self-inflicted or counting your losses, or things that weren't yours to carry, but you find yourself carrying them in the most public way and having to overcome that. And you can't seem to find your footing. And all of that, struggling with my identity for 14 years has been funeral director. And that focus isn't really there right now. So it's like I don't have that identity. So the identity, what is it? So that's where we are. If I'm not funeral directing, am I someone who has purpose? That's a struggle. And I'm grateful that you're here because I meet you here.